Hello, I would like to inform you that what you're about to listen to are the views and comments from the host and guests and only reflect their own views and not the community as a whole. I hope you enjoy the podcast, and Eddie, play that banter section.
Do you know what I just discovered on my keyboard that I bought a year ago?
Spacebar.
I can shut up.
Buttons.
I can program shortcut macros on my keyboard, and then I have profiles on it, so I can layer it up. I've been meaning to buy like a macro keyboard, but just never did. Now I have one. Without realising it, I had one. But for ages, I noticed there was a button that says macro, but just totally ignored it.
That's really nerdy.
I know. Yeah.
You're like, oh my god, this is like the best thing that's ever happened to me. And I'm like, macros. Oh yeah.
I hoped someone would go, oh my god, Ed, I also have the same problem, or I already knew that. But clearly Sid didn't catch my little hint and just made me sound like a fucking nutcase.
I'm reading. I've triggered the cosplayers of my Discord, and they're just like, "What about this?" And I'm like, "Oh no, what have I done?"
What have you done?
Have I? Yeah, there's like, you're missing this piece of the costume. You're missing this prop. Like, you're not.
Oh my god!
Your
yes.
canon insert here. Oh, finally a real cosplayer.
Wow. Now! Hello everybody, this is the Ed Talks About Podcast, a weekly podcast talking about cosplay, Comic-Con, and everything else. I'm your host Eddie, and this week we are talking about... Oh no, don't say that. And I'll explain what that means. I'll explain that means. That's not something that someone said to me. Well, no, probably have, but not in this... no, maybe in that... Anyway, so, joining us on the podcast is Lele from Lele Cosplay, and Siobhan or Siv from... Oh my god, I literally had a mind blank.
Wow.
No, because I was going to say Sid photography rather than shield photography. So that's where my brain was. But yeah,
Close
shield
enough.
photography.
Yeah I've been on here enough. People know who I am now, surely.
If only you had your own podcast that you could
only.
Ride on my coattails.
Mm-hmm.
Are you disagreeing with that?
No. At least Lydia's not here.
To be fair, you do all the work on that podcast anyway, so... Just a little pre-warning. I've got an NFL game. I've got into American football recently, and I've got the NFL game running in the back corner of my screen. So if I start yelling touchdown or home run or a wicket, things like that. What?
I don't know enough sport, but I know that wicket's in cricket.
I knew that. I mean, goal!
Just to date the podcast, who's playing?
The Indianapolis Colts versus the Jags.
Nice.
Jags are at home.
I don't know.
Then why did you ask?
Yay sport, because I wanted to date the podcast.
Yeah, I'm just sat here like, I know nothing about any of this. Football!
I knew nothing about American football. I knew the basic rules, but not enough for me to go, I need to support a team. When I came back from my job, they invited me to a football game, college football game, and I went, oh my god, I can see why everyone's into this. I need to start watching more of this shit. Because it's honestly quite adrenaline pump, especially when you're in the crowd. But anyway, we're not talking about sports, we're not talking about American football. Yeah. Or as I call it, hand egg ball game. The Americans love it when I say that. Why do you call it hand egg ball game? At least when we call our sports football, it uses the two items required for this sport. And the Americans just mean, you bastard. Yeah.
It's true though.
It
should be
is
handball.
true. I've never understood why they call it football. And I'm like, you're literally running around holding the ball and throwing it.
It's pussy rugby.
It is. It is.
It's actually quite rough, so I wouldn't call it pussy rugby.
They wear shoulder pads and helmets.
Yeah.
I think, to be fair, rugby should do the same.
They probably should.
Yeah. Anyway, let's not go down that road. So, let's do a quick 7-day checkup. Since Sib is talking, Sib, how are the last 7 days for you?
Do you really want to know the answer to that? No, okay.
Keep it
So-
safe. Keep it.
Oh no, it's safe. It's safe. Okay, in the last 7 days, I have edited 593 photos for a wedding album, and I've done 3 all-nighters. One of them ending in being awake for 28 hours.
Ooh.
I'm tired.
I love that you agreed to do this podcast.
Yeah. Today's my quote-unquote day off. So, because I'm done. I gave them to me yesterday morning, and then I slept, and then today
Yeah.
I've been playing video games. It's great.
Oh, fair enough. Oh, what video game you play? Oh, Baldur's Gate.
No, Stardew.
Oh.
I was like, I need to just turn my brain off and
Yeah.
just be on a farm.
Oh no, I need to. Yeah, that's such a weird game. No, I've just come back from EGX, and I'll explain a bit more into that story later.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I had a little go on Mario Wonder, Super Mario Wonder. That's actually quite a good game. Actually, I might try to get a copy of that. Anyway, and but yeah, it's my Steam Deck. I haven't played my Steam Deck in a while, but I have downloaded. I love how I've got to pronounce it correctly. It's not just Soul Calibur; it's Soul Calibur.
Oh my god, Soul Calibur, Jesus.
4. Was it 4? I don't know, 6 or something. But
I
anyway,
don't know.
they say it in such a specific way, and I always find it funny. But yes, Lele, how about you? How's the last 7 days for you?
That's alright.
No dramas, just sitting around, kicking back, drinking my pint of Monster. Yeah, that's good.
Well, so last week at work was like the last week before half term, which means I'm off for the next 2 weeks.
Hey.
Oh, you lazy so and so.
Yeah, and the thing is, I don't even do any work when I'm in work. So
Nice. We love a job that pays for doing nothing.
it doesn't pay a lot, but yeah.
I don't know what to say anymore. But yeah,
We did it. We finally broke the podcast.
Oh, by the way, talking about podcasts, Sib, you can't lay your hands on Lele. She's my guest. Okay, you can't pilfer her for your podcast. All right.
But if you come to mind, there's no topic. You can just
I'm
talk
like,
about you.
who's gonna buy me?
I will give you one sweet that I stole from EGX if you want.
Not an
One
EGX
sweet.
suite. How can I compete?
Or maybe I'll make you guys fight.
What, Star
see you
Trek
guys
style?
Like,
Oh my god, please.
Dun, 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 with those giant earbuds. But anyway,
I want the curved sword. I can't remember what it's called. I'm sorry. My Klingon knowledge is gone.
that's. Oh, you mean the back left?
Yeah.
Yeah,
I'm glad you know what I meant.
Yeah, not that I'm a Star Trek nerd. No. Anyway, let's move it along quick. Oh god. Anyway, So yeah, this topic. So, what was I called it? Oh no, don't say that. So this came out of a conversation quite quickly, not quite quickly, but happened at EGX recently. And I took their photo and I showed it to them, as I always do, show the back of the camera. And they said something which made me go, "Oh, don't say that. That's not right." And I went, I'm not, because I won't say it out loud because that's clearly one of my one. But I thought, you know what? I wonder if there's other things people shouldn't say to either a cosplayer or to a photographer whilst they're getting their photos taken, or when you're walking around Comic-Con. So I just thought I'd invite a photographer. I invited a. Oh my god! Seriously, I was just
use your words.
I am genuinely. I was listening to one of my. I was just edited a podcast this morning, and I swear, I just said I was slowly descending into like some old man period of my life now, and I'm just I can't think. But anyway, I invited a cosplayer and a photographer to this podcast to see if they also encounter things that you shouldn't really say to a cosplayer or a photographer, and we'll discuss about it. We won't just say it. We'll just talk about why you shouldn't say it, and then we'll go, "Oh yeah, I can see that point of view," or "No, I think you're wrong. I think it's all right to say that to someone." So I don't mind when people come up to me and go, "Oh, where are you from?" Because I will say Suffolk, because I know what they really mean, and I'm just gonna like wind them up as much as I can. Anyway. So yeah, well, since I'm talking, this is my idea. Shall I go first?
Sure. Let's kick us
Go
off.
on then.
Fantastic. So here's my one. So this is what happened at Comic-Con, and I'm not going to name and shame, and none of us will name and shame any of these like backstories that we will talk about. But what happened to me relative to this podcast at EGX yesterday was that someone came up when I showed them the back of the photo. they said, "Oh, that's a nice photo. You must have really nice equipment, or you have a really nice camera." I'm like, I actually did say out loud, said, "Yes, but I also put, there's skill behind this photo as well. It's not just the camera." And it's slowly starting to get to me now. When people say that actually that offends me. It's getting to a point now where it offends me when people think it's all equipment that kind of like makes the photo, not it's kind of a 50-50. Just to give you a bit more backstory, I actually was talking to some other photographers about it. They were saying that, oh, you should be like going into you should talk to other so one photographer, no, there was a group of people who said, oh, you should talk to other photographers, and I'm clearly in earshot going, oh, clearly they're talking about me. Okay, what do you want to know about photography? And I said, look, don't worry about the equipment, because that's not what makes good photos. You need to dial in your skill, how you want to take a photo, and that's the best way to do it. Because not everyone can buy a top-end camera, so it's better to actually buy a camera where where the camera fits your budget, and then develop your skills about how to use depth of field, ISO balance, shutter speed, things like that. Understand those terminology, and then you can start. Once you've got that down to a T and go, oh, I understand all of this, then once you get to the next camera, you'll go, all you're worried about is like, oh, the features are cool. But you need to still develop those skill sets, because if you don't understand the skill set of taking a photo on a camera, you might as well just get your iPhone out, or an Android phone or Pixel phone, and just go click, 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 there you go. Because that's effectively what you're doing in a sense.
See, whenever I've shot with any photographers, I've never even the thought has never even crossed my mind that I've sat there and gone, oh, like this must be a nice picture because if they have a really expensive camera. Also, that doesn't even cross my mind. Like, I'm just like, whenever I look at how good a picture is, I'm like, wow, they're a really good photographer. Not, oh, they must have an expensive camera. Like, I see people who shoot amazing things and like make incredible pictures, and they have a relatively low end. I know that they've got a relatively low end camera, but that doesn't matter because of they know what they're doing, and they,
oh yeah,
they have the skill behind it. And then somebody else could have a $5,000 camera.
Yeah.
But if they, like you said, if they don't understand the basics of photography, if they don't understand about like depth of field and shutter speeds and different things like that, and if they don't just have a natural kind of eye for like angles and framing and all that kind of stuff, they're still going to take terrible pictures regardless. Like,
oh, 100%. Like you take, like, what was it? Friend of the podcast, Kevin Pack, has always said, he said it on the podcast once, you can buy the most expensive camera. If you just stick it on auto, you've wasted your money. Not because you've stuck it on auto, but you can have those same features on the auto on a low-end camera, and it'll be the exact same photo comes out. Because the processing power, or the algorithms, all that, it's installed on all the cameras. It's not like the pro end get a different algorithm compared to a amateur version. They're all the same. So and that's just why I said about you might as well just take your photo on a like an Android phone or an iPhone, because if that's all it matters about the equipment, cell phone photography is really good at the moment. I wouldn't bat my eyelid on that. But for someone who has been taking photos for over 10 years now, and I've crafted my my style, the look, and knowing what I'm doing. So recently with my new camera, I've now started taking photos from low end pointing up, which gives a really different dynamic kind of look to the photo. And I was doing that a lot at EGX. I'm like, oh, this is actually quite a good angle. I like this. I want to use this a little bit more, blah, 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 type of thing. But it's like knowing how and when to deploy that kind of angle. I can't do that for all cosplayers. I mean, I could, but some may not work well, because, it depends if they're looking up. Do you want to be still, seeing to their brain cells, when, up their nose, things like that. So it's knowing when to deploy that type of technique and style for each of these photos. Siv's been a bit quiet, so I'm going to let her jump in a little bit.
No, you're right. I was just thinking, like, when I see like a stunning photograph, like from a fellow photographer, I don't think, oh wow, they must have really good equipment. Yes, I'm curious what equipment they use, because like I love the specs, and I want to know what your shutter speed is, and what your ISO is. Yeah, like I find it really interesting. Like literally Friday I went to the new exhibit of the Wildlife Photographer of the Year, and they have all the camera specs listed under every single photo.
Mm.
And I love it. I just like comparing them, like, oh, that's a Canon, oh, that's a Nikon. Like, well, it doesn't matter. The photos are so stunning, but it's clearly the eye of the photographer that's captured it, because it's wildlife photography. You have to be patient.
Mm.
You know, there's skill in it. It's not just the specs, but yeah, if you're putting everything on auto, just turn it off. No.
Just
God,
throw it in the bin, to be honest.
No, it's like I've had a friend recently get into photography and cosplay photography, and they were like, everything's really dark. Why is it dark? Because I want to learn manual. And I was like, cool, fine, right.
Who's a manual?
Yeah,
Oh,
and
carry on.
and I was like, okay, well, this dial on the front does this, and that does that, because we have very similar camera bodies.
Yeah.
They're both Sony, so. And they were just like, oh, okay, I get it. Like, this is so much more fiddly. I was like, well, you've noticed, like, when we change location, all the light changes, you notice I'm like fucking with a Rubik's Cube. And they're like, yeah. I was like, that's the skill, is the Rubik's Cube fiddle rather than just point and click.
Mm.
It's never just point and click.
No, never. And like I say, if it's just pointing and shooting, you might anyone can do that. But to take a point and shoot camera and knowing what to look, how to crop it, why do you stand this far away from a person? Why do you crop only this much? Why do you get the full body? Why are you doing a headshot? Why is the headshot at an angle? Things like that. Those are your decisions that you've made in your head, and the camera has no decision in that. And that's what annoys me. I think that's, it's not. Yes, I've spent money on good top end stuff. I keep saying this. I started from a Canon 60D. I don't want to say 60, because if I say 60, it sounds like 6D rather than 60D.
Oh, yeah, it does.
So that's why I said that's before anyone thinks, why is Eddie like numbering it literally? And then I upgraded to a 6D.
Yeah.
And then
good old Canon numbering system.
Oh,
it's
yeah.
just infallible. Oh my goodness.
Look, it's a lot easier than the Nikons and all that. But anyway.
Oh, don't get me started on the fucking
I know, right?
Sony ones as well. It's the AR Mark III Mark II piece of bullshit. I don't know.
And then my current one is now an R6 Mark II. So which is the mirrorless one. But like I said, I'm moving up the scale because I've learned enough on that camera that I've got right. I'm not saying I've hit a wall, but I'm now wanting to know more features or more techniques. I want more. I want to expand what I know about photography even further. It's not because if I get this, my photos will be more better. It's not. That's not really the case. There is an argument that yes, getting an R6 Mark II camera will be significantly better than a Canon 600D. There is an argument that there are better, but it's only the quality of the photo produced, not how it takes the photo, and that's my argument.
Yeah,
there are some cameras
100%.
that just cannot keep up. Prime example is Tank Space, and I shoot with my Sony, and Lydia's like, oh, I've always wanted to try it, but I'm always in the tank, and she got her camera out, and now Lydia takes stunning cosplay photos. And her camera just went, no, no, we can't do this.
I was going to say, Lydia's not here. You don't have to defend her.
No.
You don't have to lie.
No, I love her photos. Lydia cosplay page when I'm like cosplay photography page. I'm just waiting for it.
Yeah.
And she's like, nah. But yeah, like her camera was just like, no, I'm not. I can't.
Yeah, I keep forgetting to create a fake. Well, not fake, but a profile for her on not Instagram, TikTok. And just let people get so confused by it. But anyway,
she'll hate you.
I know. No, we spoke about it on the podcast. But just going back to a point that Lele said about 20 minutes ago about how it's interesting. You've never thought that. Do you know? But have you heard of any other person's conversation where they said, "Oh, you must have had, oh, that's great photo. You must have a great camera for it." Have you heard anyone else say that? Or if you did hear that, would you correct them by saying, actually, I think it's the photographer that took the photo, not the camera?
I'm trying to think. I don't know if I've ever heard anyone saying it, but I mean, I don't hang around with assholes, so,
How are you hanging around with me then?
I don't know. This thing, like, if I overheard somebody or somebody that I didn't know, I just, like a group of people next to me or something. I don't think I would just because of, like, I don't know these people. I'm not with them. If it was someone I was with, like, for example, say I was, like, say you were shooting with somebody.
Yeah.
And I was say, like, I got to the shoot early. And so, and you were like, and I was like, oh, like, I'll just hang around until you're finished kind of thing,
Yeah.
And then that happened, you showed them the camera and they went, oh, like, oh, you must have a really good camera. I'd probably say something, I'd probably, like, do it in a jokey way.
Yeah.
But I'll probably be like, yeah, it's not Eddie, shit.
Thanks, I think. Okay.
You're not really. You do know that, don't you?
Anyway, I think we should move on a little bit. So let's move on to a different subject, a different quote, shall we say. And as we heard a photography one, let's go to a cosplayer. So Lele, let's hear one from you.
So, and I have had this before, is when you, like, tell people that cosplay, or maybe you show somebody, like, a picture of a cosplay and they're like, oh, do you ever, like, wear it in bed? And, like, the first thing that goes through my head is, like, no, do you realise how expensive this was? Like, absolutely not. But it's just, like, this is something that comes from, obviously, tends to come from, like, non-cosplayers, and it's, like, this weird assumption that it must be a sex thing. They don't get why you do it, and so it must be a sex thing.
I don't understand, therefore it must be porn related. So, what have you been searching?
To be fair, has everyone watched The Good Place around
I thought you were going to say, has everyone watched cosplay porn?
I thought it was going there as well. I was like,
Thank you for the description you have in your head about me. The first thing you think, I think of is cosplay porn. Anyway, no, The Good Place. They talk about when they're in the, I think season 3. Is it season 3? Yes, I go to they're in the accounting department in between The Good Place and The Bad Place. And they talk about how if something new comes along, they have to then score it to say if it's a good thing or a bad thing. And they do say, oh, inevitably 9 out of 10, if not 10 out of 10, it's a sex thing. And so, oh, there's a new one here. Oh, it's not a sex thing. 2 seconds later, oh no, it is a sex thing. So yeah, that was a really long way to get to a joke. But anyway, carry on.
worth it.
But yeah, when people do that, it's just like, it's icky, it's gross, like, even if it was, why would I tell you? Like, even if I did do that, like, what business is it of yours? Like, why are you asking me this? Like, it's just not an appropriate thing to say anyway.
Yeah, no,
like,
100%, yeah.
Also, like I said, like, do you realise how expensive these things are? Like, I ain't ruining it for some man. Like...
The only time I've ever seen, like, if a cosplayer is not shooting some form of boudoir, they're normally lying on a bed, dead from con, not moving. Like, nothing's gonna happen.
Not just, moving, like, and if someone comes near them, they're like, don't touch me!
Literally.
If you're going to have your way with me, do not touch the cosplay. Do not ruin it. Do not stain it.
Don't touch me, actually. Just kind of hover around me, but don't make any mess near me, okay?
Just witness me. Nothing else.
Just witness me laying here in all my glory.
No, I can't say that. I can't say that. Oh... The amount of jokes I have in my head, but the potential is that 100% it will offend one person or everyone.
Yeah.
Oh, Jesus Christ. No, I can't imagine in my head anyone thinking that's that's a smart thing to say.
But I've had people, like, not just one, like, multiple people have done that.
But not being funny, it's like you wouldn't go up to a school dinner, school dinner lady teacher thing. No, school dinner
lady teacher.
Yeah, school dinner lady.
Does she teach the dinner ladies how to dinner lady?
Yeah.
oh my god, words are really not coming out of my... But you wouldn't go to a dinner lady and go, oh, I bet you have sex in that. You wouldn't go to a traffic warden, do you have sex in that? You wouldn't go to a lawyer, do you have sex in that? You wouldn't go to like Ronald McDonald's mascot and go, hey, do you have sex?
Oh, he 100% does. He
So
does.
does. He so does.
Oh god, if I was doing title of the podcast, that would be it. But do you get what I'm saying? It's such a weird thing. It's like when you ask comedian, when you find out they're a comedian, it's like, oh, show us a joke. It's like, you wouldn't do that with most other professions. You know, like when people know that I work in IT, it's, oh, can you fix my phone? I went, no,
Yeah.
I'm not being paid by you. Go away. Such a weird thing.
You're good with technology.
Oh,
That's
God.
nice.
Yeah,
Good.
exactly. Yeah.
And
Noted.
Oh, that's good. Yeah. Oh, it's like when my school found out the job I'm at, they said, "Oh, you take photos. Could you do this?" Like, oh God, go on then. So, but in my head, I get paid whatever happens, so it doesn't really matter.
that's like being the, like the influencer boyfriend, but you're the photographer friend in the group.
Yeah.
And they're like, oh, I really want a photo. And they like look at you and hand you their phone. And I said, like last MCM, anyone hands me a phone to take a photo, it's going to be all upside down and wonky angles and blurry. I'm intentionally going to take it badly.
I don't know. There's a situation where someone has looked at me, given me their phone, to say, "Oh, can you take a photo?" I went, "Is it because I'm Chinese?"
Wow! Oh my god! I can't do that.
I
exactly,
want
but
you to
would.
know that if I ever hand you my phone and ask you to take a photo, it is because you're Chinese.
No, I just want you to fix it.
I was literally taking a gulp of drink.
Sorry.
But yeah, it's such a... It is. I still can't... It boggles my mind still why anyone would just go up to someone and go, "Do you have sex in that?" It's like you said, people don't realise the money that goes there, regardless if it was bought or made or commissioned. And I know bought and commissioned the same thing, but still, it's like, no.
Do you know what the response is to that?
Oh.
You can't afford me. And then just... It's not saying yes, it's not saying no, it's just making them look like an idiot.
No, that says to me that's a yes.
But you can't afford me.
Yeah,
That's a yes, but not with you.
Yeah.
Oh, trust me, I can't even go to Lidl anymore. I can't afford anything in there, let alone a person. So yeah. Jesus Christ! I'm assuming that's the cheapest supermarket in the country at the moment, Lidl.
Maybe Aldi.
I should Aldi.
Yeah. Actually, I was thinking I saw a headline that said it's 40 years since they've been a band. And now they've coined themselves oldie. Old, as in oldie.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oldie but goldie.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, that is a weird one. Sorry, I'm like...
It happens.
Yeah, but obviously
I've witnessed it.
So, is your first reaction like, "Bleh," or is you just like, what the fuck?
You just kind of like are like, like you just feel icky,
Yeah.
Yeah.
and you're just like, no.
Yeah, like I wasn't thinking of it, but now I am, and
Yeah.
please make it stop.
Yeah. But hang on, something just echoed in my head. What do you mean, Sib? You witnessed it, as in you watched someone having sex in their costume?
No. I've been on a photo shoot and
And then someone has sex in a cosplay.
Yeah, no. No, I've been on a photo shoot and random passers-by asked if it was for a sex thing. And I was like, "Sir, I'm in the middle of a professional paid job. Please go away."
But yeah.
People are weird, man.
Yeah, it's weird. And I know you said you wouldn't tell anyone, but off the podcast, you tell me, right? You tell me, right? You tell Uncle Ed, right? Oh, that sounded wrong. No.
No,
No. Oh, God. Oh, no. Eddie, cut that out. Cut that out.
I'm going to start calling you Uncle Ed.
Have you met my brother, Roger? Anyway, no. No, I hate that character. I really hate that. It's like, he is like the antithesis of like the worst Chinese Asian stereotype, which I just sometimes want to get away from. Anyway, what was I saying? Yeah. Oh God, yeah, that's really icky. Anyway, let's move on from that one, and we'll give Sibbe a chance at this little thing.
God, how do I follow that? Jeez.
Well, before you have a stab at this, just to say, when I was coming up with this, and I was struggling to come up with 2 or 3 of these, Sib also said she was struggling with 2 or 3. An hour later, by the way, she literally gave me a shopping list. A shopping list of things. Anyway, just so we may not see her again because she might go on a rant. Anyway.
No, I won't go on a rant.
The floor is yours.
The one the first one I thought of was something said by someone who I've known since I was like 8 years old, and she never really took interest in my photography, and she finally saw my work and went, "Oh, you're actually really good." I was like, "That's not a compliment." And like I've had it a couple of times, but like that's the one that sticks out. But people go, "Oh, you're actually really good." It's like, that's what do you mean I'm actually really good? Like you expected me to be bad? Like, what are you saying? Like, oh, you're really good is a compliment.
Yeah.
Oh, you're actually really good is a backhanded.
Yeah. But I mean, I don't know you since you were young. I only know you last couple of years. But I'm like, it seems like if it's always happening around you, maybe you should reflect on your own life. I'm joking. No. You should.
I also get it as a woman.
Oh God, yeah, I can imagine that.
There is a line where not all men, hashtag not all men, we're like, oh, you're actually alright. It's like, what? Just because I have boobs doesn't mean I can't take a photo. Like, what?
What do you mean? They get in the way, clearly? Like...
I mean, sometimes they do.
Just because you got the storage upstairs, not the downstairs.
Yeah, exactly.
How's that different?
It doesn't just because I have different chromosomes does not mean
you're about to take a photo and then you're like, my period, and you have to stop and run away. Like sometimes when you're out on like shoots in the woods, like you have to stop because of the bears are going to come because of the period.
Absolutely.
Like it happens. It's a problem when you're a woman.
Yeah, sister, I totally understand that. Yeah.
You're in the middle of a photo shoot and you just start crying for no reason.
Yeah.
I
mean, I do that anyway.
No, that's happening to me more and more.
Like Eddie's like, no, I do that.
Yeah. It's just stress.
Lena, do you get that also from a cosplayer point of view that say, oh, you're a lady cosplayer, that's weird, or something like that?
No, I think, like I said, when you're a female cosplayer, it's more like back to the first one. Like, I think when you're a girl and you cosplay, it is like sexualized more. So you do tend to like get people making those kinds of comments and things, or just like assuming that you're doing it because of, sometimes maybe assuming that if you're a girl, it can be more like you're assuming that you're doing it for like attention or because it's popular and things. Like you do kind of, I've posted like, pictures doing like video game cosplays, and you do sometimes get people being like, oh, I bet she doesn't even actually play it. She's just doing this like for the likes and stuff kind of thing, and you're like, yeah, I spent all this money on this cosplay and spent loads of effort in it and went to like a photo shoot and a convention and stuff when I know nothing about it. Like, clearly.
but also, why would it matter if you do know to play the game or not? It makes no difference in my head if you know it or not. Like, I play video games, but I don't know the franchise inside and out. What fucking morons. Like, you're saying that every photo I've taken at Comic-Con or on location, I've had to know the franchise to understand
oh my God.
and take the photo. That's what it says.
I'd do so much less work if I did that.
Why are my photos taking 3 years to edit? Well, I had to understand the franchise, had to know everyone's character bio, which episode they appear in, which actors were playing them, and why they got fired for it, and why they got replaced, and then for the replacement was like, no one needs to know shit like that. Oh, give up.
I've been watching Naruto from the beginning. That's why it's taking time.
What do you mean it's never ending? What? I don't understand.
What do you mean you want your photos before it ends? I need to know what happens.
Oh, Jesus Christ. Yeah, but back to Sib's original statement. It's like, yes, it's
the word actually.
Yeah. I mean, that's such a backhanded
like, oh, you actually look okay. Or, oh, actually, this turned out okay. Like, what?
Yeah, it's like,
why are you surprised?
It's like going into work and someone saying, oh, you don't actually look shit today. Like, what?
Yeah.
Thanks? Yeah.
I can't say aggressive.
It's passive aggressive.
It is. I hate it so much.
Is there a way that you counter that when you hear this? Is there something you say in response to that? Do you get?
I-
Basically, do you get pissy about it, or do you have like a sex phrase to disarm them by going, "Well, thank you. You're also shit."
yeah, you're actually really good. Yeah, it's almost like I've been doing this for a while.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's that kind of response. It's sort of like, yeah, it's almost like I know what I'm doing.
It's almost like
Funny
I'm
that.
a professional at this.
It's almost like this is my job. It's
Hashtag passive aggressiveness.
not even passive. It's just aggressive.
Oh my god! Yeah, no, I can imagine that. I can't remember if I've had that or not, but I tend to think I'm shit anyway. So I would probably go, yeah, you're probably right, actually.
Same, but I don't need to be others to be surprised by how good I suddenly am. I don't need to beat their expectations. I'm not saying their expectations should be high, but like, do you know what I mean? It's just say, oh, I like this picture. That's all I need.
Yeah, absolutely, 100%. Oh, right. Okay, let's move on to another one. It's back to me now, isn't it? So, which one? Okay, no, I'll do this one because I think it can actually be used for both for this one. But I don't want to hear people comparing one person to another person, i.e. stop pitting one photographer against another photographer, stop pitting one cosplayer to another cosplayer. Like, we don't need that, really. Like, there's no... I'm not saying you can't compare, I'm just saying don't make it a competition. Say, oh, Sib works much better than Eddie's work. Like, yeah, that's true, but still, you don't need to actually say that out loud. You know, you don't need to... No, Sib, you're not going to like go, oh no, your work is good.
No, I was waiting for you to pause because I didn't want to talk over you. I was being polite.
Where's the train of thought going? You don't need to compete. Like, I look at a lot of people's work, and like, there's work that I look at and go, oh, they do a lot of process work. That's fine. That's, you know, I can see why their work is very regarded and revered. You know, I was just recently talking about Carlos Adama's work. It's like, I said, oh, his light work is great, but I'm only commenting on his style and his work. I wasn't going to say, yeah, his work is great, but Eddie's from Food and Cosplay light work is shit. It's like, you don't need to comment like that. You just compliment the photographer, and that's it. Just leave it at that. And I'm sure it's the same for cosplay. It's like,
yeah,
that's a great, Wednesday Adam, that's the one that comes to mind. Wednesday Adam cosplay. Oh, that person did it better than you, though. He's like, oh, thanks? It's like, it's a weird...
Yeah, you kind of get... You might have someone go, oh, this is great. Like, my favourite cosplayer that's done... You know, my favourite one, though, is blah, blah, blah that's done this. And you're kind of like, that's nice. But
cool.
Also the other way around, like... You know, like sometimes obviously if you're at a con, you're in a cosplay and you see somebody else in the same cosplay, you often get chatty, like you'll be like, hey, you know, and sometimes you might take a picture together or something because you're in the same cosplay, and you might like post it on your stories or something because of it's like, oh, I found a matching cosplayer kind of thing, and then somebody might reply and be like, oh, yours is so much better, and they're doing it because they think they're like complimenting you, but I'm like, well, it's not a competition.
Yeah.
Like, actually, like, I didn't ask whose was better. And I don't care, like, and you don't need to, like, you know, you could have just said, oh, you both look really great, or that, oh, this is awesome that you're both cosplaying the same thing, not, oh, yours is better, and I'm like, okay, but I don't remember the part that I asked you, but okay, you know?
Yeah. No, exactly. You can say, would you go as far as saying, if two cosplayers were in the same character, but you said to one cosplayer, oh, I like the prop in your hand, and to the other one, if they're standing next to you, and then you go to the other one, oh, Bob, I love the material you used in the outfit. Is that something that's okay to say then?
I mean, obviously, you can compliment specific parts of different people's cosplays. You know, so like you said, you know, you could be like, oh my god, like, you know, you're, you know, like, you know, if one of them's got like a sword and the other one doesn't, you could be like, oh my god, like your sword's amazing. And then to the other one, you might be like, oh, I love, you know, like you said, like, you know, oh, like I love this part of it or whatever. Like, you can compliment like individual different aspects of their outfits and stuff without kind of then being like, you know, oh, I love your sword. You don't have one though. It's a bit shit, isn't it? Like, do you know what I mean? Like, there's a way of doing it in the right way that's not just putting down the other person, and some people don't understand that.
Do you think it is a lack of understanding?
I feel like sometimes it is, because like I said, sometimes when people say things like that, oh, yours is better, like they genuinely feel like they're giving you a compliment. You know, they genuinely feel like, oh, I'm by saying like, oh, yours is better, oh, yours is so much better, you look so much better in it. They think that they're complimenting you, but they don't seem to understand that you don't need to put other people down to compliment somebody, Like, I've had it even not in the same cosplay, but if I've done like a group cosplay with like not doing the exact same cosplay, but we're both doing characters from the same thing, and I might post a picture, and then, so like I said, somebody might say, oh, like, you look so much better, and I'm pretty sure it's happened before, like when I've posted a picture with Becca, who like Eddie knows, like, she's like my best friend, and they've said that, and I'm like, okay, but like I didn't ask, and actually that's my best friend. She looks raging, so and they're like, oh, I didn't mean anything, I was just saying, like, I'm like, well, why say that? Like, you could have just said, like, you both look really good.
Yeah.
It's not a competition, like, by making a point of saying, like, that you think I look better, like, you're just needlessly putting down the other person and potentially making them feel bad. Like, there's just no need for it. You could have just said, you both look amazing.
Exactly. Yeah. And also, is there like a hidden agenda by saying that as well? It's like, I don't know. That's what like that's the thought that just popped into my head.
I think some people say it and they don't realize it's actually damaging to the other person that they're referring to. But there definitely have been people like, oh, did you see so and so was wearing X character? Thank God yours is actually decent. Like, that definitely happens.
Oh,
like
come
there's being ignorant and not really knowing it's not a compliment, and then there's fully throwing shade.
Yeah.
Like, we love some shade, but Jesus, don't.
I was about to say, because none of us has thrown shade around here. No.
Never. I am.
Oh, no.
Me and my natural light are blinding over here.
Oh, the halo around my head. Oh my god. Oh wait, they look like horns. Anyway, so oh man. I'm gonna fit a few more in of these before I decide on something. But yeah, no. Cheers for chatting about that. Lele, let's add one more from you at least.
So this is one I've actually just thought of.
Oh god.
We're gonna bit spontaneous right now.
Oh my god.
So I've had this happen quite a few times. People sometimes like message or comment or whatever saying like, oh, you should cosplay blah blah blah. And it really annoys me because I'm like, well, no, I cosplay what I want to cosplay.
Yep.
And they might suggest something from something that I don't even like. I'm not a fan of it. I don't know what that character is. I don't know what that is. And I'm like, why are you telling me what I should cosplay? Like, are you going to pay for it? You're going to pay for it for me? Like, do you realize how much work and money goes into these? Like, I cosplay what I want. And unless I've asked, sometimes you might ask for suggestions. Sometimes, like, I love doing Genshin cosplays. And there's so many characters and so many different things that sometimes I might post and be like, what Genshin cosplays would you like to see me do? Because I'm just curious, because I always want to do Genshin cosplays. I love all the characters, so sometimes I'm curious, like, what other people would like to see. But sometimes you just get people randomly just being like completely no context, nothing to do with what you'll just get a message from somebody being like, you should cosplay this, and I'm like, should I? Since when? Says
You
who?
just send your PayPal link and be like, you buy them.
Like, no. Like, it really bugs me because it's like I didn't ask you kind of thing, and I don't get paid for this kind of thing, like, I do this as a hobby because I enjoy it, so why would I just cosplay stuff that some random person on the internet has told me to? Like, no. It bothers me. It bothers me.
It's so strange. Like, I know a cosplayer who's been asked to go to some shoots, like, to help out, and they're like, oh, I'd really love to shoot you, and like, as this character, and they're like, well, I have no interest in shooting this character, or I've already shot this character in that same setting, so I don't really want to do it again. Like, I've done it. And if it's a new character, they're like, I have no interest in it. Like, are you gonna pay for this? And they're like, no. I'm like, I'd love to shoot you. It's like, oh.
See, this is how I do it when I want to shoot with someone or they want to shoot with me. And the question I come up with more or less straight afterward is, what cosplay have you got that you haven't got many photos of?
Yeah.
Because that gets around, because it covers a lot of ground with that one sentence. It says, what of your existing lineup you've got? Think about it. Which one of those do you want photos most from it? rather than going, I don't know what you've got. Do you do Harley Quinn or this version of Harley Quinn, or do you have that version of Harley Quinn? Why do you keep questioning my love for Harley Quinn? Don't do that. It's like there's a better way to ask that question about that. But going back a little bit, I do hate that question, and I did a podcast about this, about people doing those. Oh, what cosplay do you want to see me do? It's like, you have no idea if they like that character or not. And there is an argument, and I don't know how far this argument is, that you've got to have a connection to the character to cosplay that. I'm not saying you have to. I assume there are some people out there who have done characters or cosplays. They have no idea who the character is, have no understanding of the backstory, but still enjoyed cosplaying that character. That is absolutely fine. But there's also a lot of people who want to have that connection to that to that character, so they have a better enjoyment out of it. But saying, "Oh, who should I cosplay?" It's like, I don't think people really understand what that question means, because a lot of people who ask, and I hate to say that it is males men who are commenting and go, "Oh, I want to see you in this." It's like, oh god, you're gross.
Yeah.
See, I see it a lot on like some like cosplay groups and things. People like just posting a selfie of themselves and being like, "Oh, who should I cosplay?" And I'm always like, "Whoever you want." Like,
Yeah.
like I don't like I said, everybody's different, and like you said, some people might see a character, they don't know it, they're not familiar with the franchise, but they just love the look and aesthetic of this character, and they're happy. They want to cosplay it just because they love how it looks, even though they don't really know anything about it, and that's fine for those people. But for a lot of people, and I'm one of them, I cosplay because I'm a massive fucking nerd, and I pick characters and stuff from things that I love. Like, part of the fun of cosplay is bringing the characters that I love to life. Is like, bringing this like real life version of this character out and getting to like show my love for my like favorite nerdy things, kind of thing. So I only ever cosplay stuff that I know and love and everything. So I never put just generic, like, who should I cosplay kind of post out, because I'm like, well, no, it's got to be something that I love. So sometimes I might be like I said, like, oh, I want to do another Genshin cosplay, but I'm not sure what. What characters from Genshin would you guys like to see? Because if there's loads of characters I love from that, or like, I love Zelda, so I might be like, are there any other Zelda characters that you guys think would be a good cosplay for me, kind of thing? Because I love all of them, and sometimes I'm struggling to decide, so sometimes asking people like what they would like kind of might help me narrow it down a little bit or something. But I'd never just be like, oh, what should I cosplay? Like, so like generally, because it's like, well, you're just going to get a load of answers from people of stuff that you don't know or don't like. Like, it's pointless.
No, absolutely, yeah, and that's what I say. Like, that's why I really genuinely hate those posts, because I just think, I don't know, it might just be. I will admit, I can understand from an algorithm generating thing where if you get a lot of comments, it makes people's feed see more of it. But other than that, I just think it's such a pointless question. I hate it. I really genuinely hate that question. I'm noticing the time, so I feel like Sib should just get one in, and then we'll do a quick fire one up towards the end, just to go over it. So, Sib, make this a good one before the quick fire round. No pressure at all. No pressure. Good one.
I know, I'm looking at my list like, oh no.
Pressure.
Yeah, it really is. Okay, I'm gonna go with the leading sentence of, I know you're fully booked, but...
Oh!
And it's the... Just, stop there. I'm fully booked. Whatever you're going to ask me, no. The answer is no. I don't care if it's...
But can you not squeeze me in, please?
No. But I missed your booking forms, but I missed that. But your excuses are not my problem.
I'm sat here like, I really hope I haven't done this to Eddie.
No. It's just...
We shall find out later.
If you know a photographer is fully booked for an event, or, especially with cons, like, because a lot of contogs do put out booking forms, And yeah, the slots go, especially if they're in demand, especially, their work's good and they're known in the circuit, like they will get booked up quick. And if you miss it, that's tough shit. And I know you really want to be like, oh, but please, but no. Like, no. Sorry.
Yeah.
You have to be really fucking special to get past that.
I mean, I am very fucking special.
And I mean very special.
Okay, hang on. Can I ask one thing about this sentence, this comment? Is this on the day as you're shooting, or maybe a couple of days, a couple of weeks before the event?
I've had both.
Okay. There's no exception in either cases? No, because I will say, okay, whilst you're thinking that, I will say this, because I want to not say counter, I'm not saying you're wrong for saying it. For me, and I'm only speaking for me, it does not apply to all photographers. I do have like a block of time I have for myself, but I'm willing to sacrifice some of that time if there's someone who mutually we want to shoot with each other. It's not something, I will give up some of my free time to ask. So I was going to say, if it's a couple of days or weeks before the event, I would personally say it's worth asking, but if it's on the day, do not ask.
Oh yeah, especially on the day.
So basically, if I asked, you'd be like, yeah.
As I said, do not ask.
I've had people say, like, I know you're fully booked, but I'm really sad I missed out and stuff. And I've gone, cool. If anyone drops out, I will let you know.
Yeah.
That is the normal thing, but I'm not gonna, I can just, maybe do more work. No, I think because I've got to such a point with convention shooting where I'm just like, I'm very strict in it.
Yeah.
But I've had people who have come up to me mid-shoot at cons going, I know you're really busy and I know you've been fully booked, but I was just wondering. And I'm like, no, I'm fully booked. My next person is waiting over there. Like, I can see my next client. Like, I'm sorry, no.
I'm just thinking. No one has done this to me. No one has come up to me. So hang on, I'm a bit offended actually that no one thinks I'm fully booked.
I know that before, like I've missed out on booking you in the past, and by the time I've seen your post, I saw it and then I realised you were fully booked. I know I've messaged you. I'm pretty sure I've been like, but I haven't then been like, oh go on, oh please, oh go on, fit me on. I've just messaged you going, I missed your booking and now you're booked, and you've been like, yeah, and I'm like, eh.
So what you're saying is I'm not a pushover.
Yes, no. I fully know there's a doormat with my name on it. People have walked over it, I've just fallen over. So yeah.
Oh, I've been that doormat, like trust me. Like I've done it. I've squeezed in as many people as humanly possible into a con weekend. Yeah. But I think just with experience and age, I'm just like, no.
Exactly. And like I said, if you know, okay, I probably should actually be a bit more specific. If you know there's a photographer who have a schedule, I would say try to refrain from asking because they have a schedule for a reason. They've put in breaks here and there. Also, like Sib just said, we pack in a lot of appointments in. If we can see that we get a 30-minute break, a 15-minute break, a 5-minute break, we as photographers will take that because we do need those breaks because it's very intensive to go from one person to another person to another person to another person.
Honestly, it's the only time you get to pee sometimes.
Yeah, exactly. And you just, you go from one franchise to
I'm
another.
like, wait, you actually pee at con?
Oh no, I just wet myself.
Yeah.
I mean, that counts. You're still peeing at con.
Yeah.
Well, I'm really tempted to get one of those adult nappies. So.
Oh my god.
Do it.
I know, just brand it. Food and cosplay. Nappies
No.
The photographer nappy.
The nap tog. Let's go. Hate it.
Generally no. But it's hard because I don't want to dissuade people from asking. So, like I said, if you know there are photographers out there who are just willing to shoot anyone and everyone, and they may not have a full schedule and things like that. So, do still ask photographers. But if you know, like they do have a schedule, they are
don't get pissy when they say no.
Yeah, exactly. And just accept it and walk off, and that is fine, And
I find it's like the bit where we do take a break and we do finally sit down and we have a drink and stuff is very similar to the cosplayer who's just sat down for the first time that day, and someone goes, "Oh, can I grab a picture?" And they're like, "Oh, fuck off!" But yes,
I've been that
it's
cosplayer.
very similar.
Yeah.
And I've been with friends like the last MCMA, and they've had people come up, and I went, "They're taking a break. You can wait," and made them go away. And they're just like, "Oh," because I could see the look on their face of like, "I don't want to get up. Like, I'm tired.
Yeah,
It's
that's-
last thing on a Saturday."
Yeah. No, it's fine.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I take zero shit now. I can't. It's basically what I'm learning.
Oh no, sounds about right. Sounds about right. Oh man! And just to answer the question, Layla, yes, you have asked me out of.
Did it start with "I know you're fully booked, but"?
No, she does the crying.
I go, "Wah!"
Is it a voice note or is
No,
it
no,
just emojis?
in text, and it does
Wah.
it. But all I hear is the warring. No,
Incredible.
Oh god, I've just realised when people hear this podcast, which I think comes out just before MCM London, I'm going to get messages now going, "Oh, Eddie," or
It's, "Wah." This thing, like, if I haven't been able to book you, and then I see you at con, I'll just look at you and go, "Wah."
It's going to be on the Friday. But just to counteract the point where I almost booked a slot with Eddie just to make sure he had a break.
which I had to message back going, "I've got a 2-hour break. It's fine."
I looked at your times and I was like, does he need a break?
But since that message, I have given up some of that.
No! I should have booked one. Are there any left?
No. As in, the free time I have, as in that 2-hour block, I've given. So there's no way you could have blocked that out anyway. So, yeah. Don't judge me. Don't judge me.
I will judge you.
Don't look at me like that. I can feel it. I just don't. I know it's an audio podcast. We can't see each other, but I can feel it.
Trust me. My judgmental stares transcend audio.
Oh man, I've really enjoyed talking about this, and I don't know if we should just carry on with one more quick round here.
Go on, one more.
One more round. Okay, we'll do a
Do
quick
it.
fire round, and then podcast section we'll think of something else to do. Okay, we might say like on podcast section we might say what's a positive thing to say to a cosplayer or a photographer. Anyway, so let's go around. Oh, it's me first, then, isn't it?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, I will freely admit this. I've stolen this off Sib's list, but I truly believe this as well. Do not ask for the raws. Do not ask for the original photos. It's very offensive to ask someone. Well, I wouldn't say offensive, but it attacks me.
It's rude.
It's very rude to ask for the original photos for that. And I've had that when I first started thinking I was a pushover, and I've had people telling me, do not give away your raws, because essentially that's your copyrighted material. That is your work. And if you give that away, that's it. You've got not saying you've got no rights to it, but they can do whatever.
Do.
Do I?
Yeah. The minute you take the photo, that photo is yours.
Yeah, photographer retains all rights.
Oh yeah.
The minute you press that button, the minute it saves onto.
Unless you actually like sign something to transfer the rights over to the other person.
But even they have a copy of it. They go, "Oh yeah," but there's anyway. What I'm saying is that it is very offensive to me when someone says, "Oh, can I have a copy of the rules?" Like, no. The reason, before you jump in, I heard someone.
That was me. I'm fighting at the bit.
I think I would say, if you've booked with someone, you've booked with that person for a reason. For you to then ask, "Can I have a copy of the rules?" That obviously just breaks all trust. That you have no confidence in the work they do. If you're saying, "Oh, I have my own DSLR cameras. I want someone to take a photo for me. Can you quickly use my camera to take a photo?" And that's it. I think that's okay.
That doesn't bother me.
Yeah, that doesn't bother me because it's their camera. Yeah, I'm the one that pushed the button. I'm the one that set up the settings maybe and all that. But they, if I wanted a copy of that photo, I'll actually get my DSLR camera and take it myself. But yeah, just asking for the raws. Oh, yeah, no.
The thing with the raws is you don't trust my ability. It gives you the illusion that you're going to edit them because you don't trust mine. However, you've chosen to work with me because you like my style, but my style also comes in the form of editing. And I had another point. I can't remember what it was. It's gone. But it's just don't. It's just you're working like. If you know someone who's great at their color grading and they add like overlays and special effects and stuff, you ain't gonna get that in raws. And it does go back to the original, like, "Oh, your camera takes a good picture," because I just want the one the camera took.
Yeah.
No, you're working with me. You're not working with my camera.
Yeah. Maybe I should get Lele to just answer this point. Do you think people ask for the raws because they know they can get it quicker to post it online. Do you think that's a way to just get their photos quicker back to them?
Sometimes it can be. I think sometimes if somebody is like not wanting to wait, so it's not that they don't have faith in the photographer's ability to edit, but it's just I want the pictures now. So if I just edit them myself now, then I can get them posted quicker. So that could definitely be what they're thinking when they ask for that, you know.
You get your own
And
camera and a tripod.
yeah,
and a shutter
it's one of those
and do it
things where,
yourself.
like, obviously it depends on how long the photographer takes to get the edits back. Like, we all know, both cosplayers and photographers, we're all doing this like for fun. We're all doing this in our spare time, and photographers take insane amounts of pictures at con, and they work and everything else as well. So it's going to take like a bit of time. But I have had cases where I've been like literally like a year and a half later from a con, I still haven't had pictures back from somebody. And for me, I'm like, that's ridiculous. Like, that's, and especially if you see that person is still going to conventions and taking more pictures, and you're a bit kind of like, okay, but you have a backlog that's over a year and a half long now, and nobody's had their pictures back. You know, this is getting stupid. Like, in that like, I don't know if you guys agree or not. In that kind of situation, if they are that behind on their edits and stuff, and it's taking them that long, if somebody does sort of think, well, maybe if I just ask for the raws so that I can edit them myself, because of it's been like a year and a half and I don't know when I'm going to get them, and they clearly, you know, they might even be thinking like, maybe if I edit them, it kind of takes the pressure off them a little bit, sort of thing, if it's been that long, kind of thing, you know.
Hang on. Let me just flick my hair and just tilt my head going, I've never been in that position because I have no backlogs. I've never been in that position. Sorry, carry on.
I think there's also like at that point it's down to the photographer to make a statement of why it's taking so long. Like, this is why I'm very candid. Like, my brain don't work, I'm having a time. Like, the things are going to be delayed. Like, the wedding I've just done has taken precedence, like all this kind of shit. Like, be honest of why it's taking that long.
This is the thing, a lot of people don't do that.
No.
They don't put out anything publicly.
No.
And if you try and chase them and ask them at that point, like, they just kind of say, oh yeah, sorry, I've got like a big backlog, I've been really busy.
So,
You're
you
kind
could
of like,
just put
that's
a story
nice,
up.
but
Yeah.
how busy? When is it going to, like, do you have any kind of rough estimate of how long it's going to be? Because it's already been a year and a half, you know? And I can understand in that situation why cosplayers might ask for the raws.
Yeah.
And it's not because of they don't have faith in their ability to edit, but it's just because of they're sat there thinking, am I ever going to get these pictures? Are they ever going to get around to editing them? Maybe I should just ask for the originals so that they don't have to worry about editing them, and then I've got them at least, you know?
If anyone ever asks me for raws, and this has happened in the past, expect to pay out for them. Because I was like, yeah, it's 500 quid, and they were like, what? And I'm like, yeah, if you want the raws, you pay for them.
Yeah.
And they were like, oh no, I'll wait. I'm like, I thought so. You'll wait for your free photos from your free shoot. Yes, you will.
Well, on that bombshell, let's move it on to Lele's next quick fire one.
Right, so it's kind of it's kind of a bit of a general kind of thing. There's lots of different examples of the kind of things people might say. So it's when people kind of comment on your sort of body or appearance in relation to the character. So things like for example, do you remember the anime Made like twins that me and Becca did?
Oh yes.
Eddie, that you, yeah,
Ram and Rem.
Ram and Rem, yeah.
Is it the blue hair and the pink hair?
Yeah.
Right.
So me and Becca have done that kind of thing, and in the anime they are twins, but in the anime the way they're drawn, the blue-haired one has got noticeably bigger boobs than the pink-haired one. The pink-haired one, her boobs are quite small, and the blue-haired one has got bigger boobs. I cosplayed the pink-haired one with the smaller boobs.
Right, okay.
Reddy's like, that's weird.
No, I'm wondering where this is going. Carry on.
And this thing, I've had people comment, and stuff saying, oh, you should have cosplayed, like they're not doing it in like a sexual way, but they just genuinely like, oh, you should have cosplayed Rem because of she's got bigger boobs, so that would have like fit your figure more, kind of thing. And I'm like, sorry, like, what do you want me to do? Like I love Ram. Ram's my favorite one. out of the two of them. I love her, and Becca loves Rem, and that's her favourite one. So that's the way we did it.
Sorry,
And
have
I'm
you
like,
not found out a way to unscrew your boobs and put new ones on?
Not
God,
yet.
I
I've been working on it.
I wish that was possible. Oh my god.
If you could like have different sizes, you know,
Yeah.
in your wardrobe, so depending on how you're feeling that day, you could just
That'd be great.
yeah. But no, I haven't figured that out yet. And the thing is, you get people kind of making those kinds of comments in general and stuff, like people being like earlier when we were talking, you know, Sib, like you said it before, like, you know, people being like, oh, that's really cool, you've done like a plus size version
Oh,
of this.
why do people
And
feel
stuff
the
like
need to
that.
say this?
Oh, it's so cool that you've done a plus size this, and I'm like, thanks. You know, they think that they're complimenting or something.
Yeah.
But you're kind of like, was that necessary? And it goes for other things as well. Like, I know, you know, black cosplayers who get, oh my god, you're a black Sailor Moon, that's so cool.
Yeah.
And you're like, did you need to say that?
No, I'm just
Was
Sailor
that
Moon.
necessary? Kind of thing. Or people, like I said, sort of saying like, oh, you know, you cosplay one character from something, and they say, oh, you should have cosplayed this character because of, you know, they're shorter kind of thing, or because of their curvier, or they're this kind of thing. And you're like, that's great, but I don't remember when I asked, and I didn't want to cosplay that character. I wanted to cosplay this character. Like, leave me alone. You know, you get people making those kinds of comments about like your body and your appearance, and like I said, if you know, your race, your skin color and things in relation to your cosplay, and it's just not necessary. Like, it's just never necessary.
Yeah. No, agreed 100%. Yeah. No, it's
It's just not necessary.
It's really not necessary. I can't imagine anyone going, yeah, let's do it, yeah, let's do that. Like, no, just
I think
no.
the only time it's acceptable is it's like, oh, it's nice to see someone who looks similar to me look look this amazing.
Yes.
Yeah.
I think that's the only time.
Like, sometimes I get people sort of saying like, oh, like, you know, you've got the same kind of body shape as me, and seeing you cosplay this actually like gives me the kind of confidence to think maybe I could.
See, that's nice.
Like,
We're all
that's
for
like
that.
a nice thing to say, but like I said, and then when somebody is just like, oh, you've done a plus size this, you're kind of a bit like,
No,
Fuck
this
you.
is just what I look like.
like, I wasn't sat there going, I'm gonna do a plus size version of this. This is just my body. This is just how it is. Like, I couldn't have opted to do like the skinny version. You know, like,
Sorry, let me just like suck in a little bit. Yeah.
like, that was never an option to me. No matter what cosplay I do, it's gonna be this shape. Okay.
Oh god, people, man.
People, man. So yeah, that one. And like I said, it's your body shape and things. Either you've got too much boob for that, or you don't have enough. But you know, people with smaller boobs might get like, if they cosplay a character that's got notoriously big boobs, they'll get told, "Oh, you don't have enough boobs for that," though, and stuff. You know, and it goes the other way around and stuff. And like I said, people who are different races and things get told, oh, you're a black this, or oh, you're an
What?
Asian this, or whatever, and you're like, am I? Like, you know, it's just like, why did you need to point that out? Like, as if I didn't realise what colour my skin was. You know, like, it's just weird. It's weird. Why do people do that?
Very weird.
So strange.
So
Or like I
strange.
said, they recommend a different character that you should have done.
Yeah,
Based on
instead of
your
doing
appearance.
this one, you should have done this.
Yeah.
Because they're
Oh,
more
that's
like
cool,
you.
but you should have done this because of, you know, whether it's because of that, you know, your figure is more like theirs, or, you know, if you are black and you cosplay a white character from it, and they say, oh, you should have done this, and they say the black character, and you're like, what? Because of black people can only cosplay the black characters, like, you know, it's just like, why, man?
Just let's not. let's not go down that road.
This is a whole other road.
Yeah. Next
look,
time.
We're running out of time. We really need to get to Sib ones as well. But yeah, we'll take that conversation probably into the podcast extra and things like that. Anyway, Sib, let's get your one out of the way.
Mine's nice and quick. Is I really want to work with someday, and then they proceed to never try and book
Never
you.
message you again.
Yeah, and they just disappear into the void, and you're like, I thought you wanted to work with me. Like, hello?
Hello.
kind of wanted, like, to work with me that bad. It's like, oh, I really want to work with you someday. Like, I love this, blah, 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 blah. You know, and they sing your praises and then just disappear. And you're just like, cool. Like, I've had people do that. And I go, oh, cool. Here's my schedule for, like, the next 3 months. You know, if you want to book in, here's what's free. And then they just leave me on red. And I'm like, well, you can't want it that much. Like, thanks. Make me feel wanted and then just kick me to the curb. Like,
Is this like in messages that people do this?
yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, mostly messages, like, you know, instant messages, like, oh, I love this, I love your work, I'd love to work with you, you know, I'd love to work with you next con, you know,
I mean,
sad I missed you this con,
I'm playing devil's advocate. Like, maybe by the time it gets to next con, they just forget that they said that and stuff.
There are a lot of photographers to, like, try and keep track of, but
yeah,
if you're messaging me out of con season, and I'm like, cool, let's make this work, and then you kind of just ghost, I'm just like, we don't want it then, do you? What are you doing?
What are you doing? No, what was it? Similar to that effect, and Lele's heard me say this, and I'm sorry for repeating this, that I've had cosplayers come up to me and say, oh, I really want to shoot with you, can you fit me in? Oh, okay. I take their photos, send them the photos. They don't use my photos.
Oh my god, that annoys me so much. That annoys me so much. I've had people pay for shoots and have come and we've shot and they've been a client of mine and then they've never posted them.
But to be fair, if they paid you, at least you got some compensation out of it.
Well, yeah, but it's just like, but why? I said, like, you know, if there's anything you want me to change, like, let me know and I'll happily change them. And then like, no, I love them, they're great. And then never post them. And I'm like,
why don't
do you love them though?
Like, do I want to work with you again now? You know, it's like people going, oh my god, these are amazing, I can't wait to post these, and then they post them and then don't tag you, and I'm just like, mother. Not that happened today, but yeah, that happened today.
Oh gee, dice. I was gonna say, I think I've triggered Sib here. You're right.
I'm fine.
Jesus Christ. No, that's happened. Yeah, and as I said, Lele heard me just rant about this when we're doing, what was it, the Room 101 one, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah. Just, that hasn't happened to me recently since that podcast, but...
Funny that.
But it's like, it's so back of my mind, it's like, just got to be so careful who I shoot with in a sense, but yeah. Oh, God.
Oh, yeah, I don't think people realise that if you, like, don't tag us properly or ask for rules and stuff, then you get put on, like, a little mental list of, watch this person. Maybe don't work with them.
I think I did say in the podcast with Layla, I did say I've actively avoid that person because it's more that I don't want to waste my time, because if I was getting paid for it, actually I wouldn't care, but because it's my free time, like, it matters to me who I spend my time with, because there's so many people who do want to shoot with me and they just don't.
Oh, God, yeah.
And this actively allows me to give that time to someone else who appreciates my time, type of thing. But anyway, that's. I'm
just saying, I do post your pictures and I do tag you in them.
You do.
So
you do. Well, you're one of the good ones. That's why when you go, you get shot.
This is the thing. You treat us nicely and you tag us properly. Like, my friends have started tagging me of any piece of greenery in their photos just because it's funny. I'm like, I love this. I will make time for them because they make the effort to make me feel appreciated. And if people kind of just go, oh, I really want to, and then just don't post it or don't respond, I'm just like, well, I don't have time for you now, like, mentally or physically.
Yep.
Bottom of the pile you go.
And on that note, we're going to end the podcast, because literally it's now turning into a 3-hour podcast. So let's end
another thing.
No! And on that note, we're going to end it. Right, okay, so I'm going to quickly end it now. We're going to hop over to the podcast section. We might review some of the things we said and then add a bit more extras to it. And maybe, like I said, we'll do maybe what's a good thing to say to instead of this or whatever. But anyway, on that note, alphabetically, Lele, where can they find you on the
social medias?
The social media. I was going to say super media, but clearly that was wrong. On the social medias.
So, Oh,
Ooh.
that's nice, isn't it? Instagram is Lele Cosplay, all one word.
Mhm.
Twitter is the same. Facebook is the same.
There's a theme here.
There is a little running theme going on here. Yeah.
Nice to
yeah.
know. That's nice to know. You could have just said Lele for all of it, but yeah.
I could have, but I wanted to
No,
crack it
list
out.
it, list
Okay.
Jesus Christ. Right, Sid, where can I find you on the social medias?
You can find me pretty much on every social media site, and if you want to see them all listed, you can go to shillphotography.co.uk/socials.
That sounded really professional.
Yeah, sorry.
She profess.
Gotta get those website clicks.
Oh, too right. If you go to foodandcosplay.org/links, that's where you'll find all my social media links. You know what I mean by social media links. If you go to foodandcosplay.org generally, you'll find cosplay photos, some articles here and there. I keep. Oh my god, I've forgotten 2 articles to do this weekend. I need to I'll backtrack it somehow.
Uh-oh.
Yeah, I know. If you go to foodandcosplay.org/podcast, you'll find podcasts that I've recorded with these 2 separately with other topics and things like that. If you go to patreon.com/foodandcosplay, that's where you're going to hear the aforementioned podcast extra with these 2. So hopefully you'll come over to the podcast section, give us a listen. And yeah. Yes.
And if you want to hear
Yes?
us bully Eddie, go to controllerscover.co.uk/episode 5. No, I'm kidding.
No, but do go listen to the Control cosplay podcast. That's actually I do listen to it. The last one you had was Acoustica, was it?
No.
Who
You're
was
one
it?
behind. Cat.
No.
Mad Cat Cos.
Oh yeah, Mad Cat. And then like you said, here's the next one, and you didn't have one, so you did bloopers.
Yeah, I didn't. I was like, here's the preview. Oh, shit.
And on that note, I'm going to end the podcast. Right. Come on over to the podcast extra. But on that note, I'm going to say goodbye and they're going to say goodbye. So bye, guys.
Bye-bye.
Don't bully me.